Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure for me to be here giving this. All right. Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here giving this speech for you. Thanks for the invitation. All right. We are going to talk about the management level based on the digital revolution and green technologies. The new sustainability paradigm. Human needs can be only met if environmental and development are carried out together. Both evoke similar feelings. Sustainability seems more distant than justice, as many societies today can be equal as just, however, no society is sustainable, deeply rooted in the waste of production and consumption to understand its unsustainable character. Sustainable development. This new paradigm decouples growth from growth, adopting a new state model in which it considers sustainability. Considering that the environment economy relationship is fundamental for sustainable development and the capacity of the environment cannot be compromised, then the economy must ensure the capacity of the environment as well as the needs as it is known that the human beings both in the past and in the future it will depend on the basic environmental conditions, which constitutes the capacity of the environment to satisfy human needs today and in the future. Sustainable development or economic growth. The society has been growing in a way that disregards natural resources. And yes, considering just economic interests, it is the capitalist society in search of a quality of life based on exacerbated consumption. The green economy. The greening of economies is not an obstacle to growth, but a new growth mechanism. However, the transition to a green economy can vary considerably from one nation to another, as it depends on the specificities of human and natural capital in each country and on its relative level of development. Schedule obsolescence, exacerbated consumption, and depletion of natural sources. The idea of reducing product usage time first appeared in 1925, formed by the main lamp manufacturers in Europe and in the United States. They decided to reduce their lamp life from 2,500 to 1,000 hours. Green economy. The green economy is about monetizing natural resources. Green economy aspects. Green economy values and invests in natural capital, using the planet's resources in a sustainable way without risks to species and ecosystems, but also without impeding the advancement of business and well-being. Good examples are green buildings adapted not to touch the nature, with green curtains and space for the sunlight. They use rainwater to water plants, garden, and common areas. Technological intellectual. a new, much broader industrial revolution. Its impacts. This is the time to decide whether to make the age of accelerations an opportunity or not. This is the moment, the typing point. What will be the social impacts? What will be the economic impacts? What will be the environmental impacts? What is the correct destination for electronic waste? Stressing that technology cannot be dissociated from sustainable development. Learning. The world is being drastically reshaped. The negative aspects are there is indeed a mismatch between the change in the pace of change and our ability to develop learning systems. Today, we are facing an economic model that totally disregards planetary limits. This growing search for consumer goods, uncontrolled use of technologies, which has led the planet Earth to react to this global economy with environmental shocks. Now we have the positive aspects. Changes such as technological, geophysical, and social changes were driven by society itself. And even if uncomfortably, we ended up adapting. Technology, technology has humanized the health sector, evolved experiences, and achieved better results in treatments and diagnostics. Technological factors are also fundamental. They were important for the entire process of industrial revolution. Technological factor was fundamental to sustain the new sustainability paradigm. Whereas all the industrial revolutions were based on technological developments. This new revolution will provide new products and services that increase efficiency. An example are the technologies that instrumentalize the sharing economy as applications that make our lives much easier and much productive. This moment, for example, of communication, a webinar, these platforms provide entirely new ways of consuming goods and services. Now I'm going to present a research carried out in Brazil with higher education institutions. In order to know the level of management based on the digital revolution and the green technologies. Justification. The present study was carried out due to the following concern. Understand at the level of ecological information technology and practices adopted by the human resources sector in educational institutions in Brazil. The survey carried out included 127 respondents. With regard to gender, it was possible to identify that 54.3% of respondents were female, while 45.7% were male. As for the profession, 37.8% of respondents are students, and 18.1% are the company's decision makers, and 44.1% declared to be a teacher. With respect to the age, 32.25 is under 25 years old, 15.2 from 26 to 36 years old, 20.8% from 36 to 45, from 45 to 55 years old, 22.2%, and over 55.96%. As for the time of existence of the educational institution that works or studies, the respondents declared that 79.4% and exists for more than 10 years, and 23.6% exists for less than 10 years. Here we have the reliability analysis of the data collections instrument through the Chromebacks Alpha. Thus, values close to 1 indicate a good internal consistency. Preferably, it should be greater than 0.7. And in our research here, we have 0.8%, and the number of items is 18. The instrument, composed of 18 questions variables, presented a Chromebacks alpha of 0.8. That is, it can be considered as very good. The level of management based on digital revolution and green technology. The factors were named. Factor 1, education in sustainable management and organizational changes. Thus, it is observed that the total variation explained by the 5 factors, 64.34%. Factor 1 explains 16.0 of the total variation. The factor 2 explain 13.2% of total variation. Factor 3 explains 13.1 of total variation, and the factor 4 explains 12.6% of total variation, and finally the factor 4 explains 9.3% of total variation. Organizational, factor 2, organization of the company for innovation. Factor 3, technological knowledge. Factor 4, human resources. And factor 5, human resources. The importance of watching this development and questions. Development, yes, and it's necessary. Here, I would like to leave an observation. It is possible to build and evolve intelligently. It is possible to have environmental sustainability in a circular economy. I am totally in favor of economic and technological development, but they need to follow the principles of circular economy. Here I will add a reflection. Whose responsibility is green technology literacy? Family or school? Whose responsibility is to solve global environmental problems? Government, business, or civil society? Or it is a sect? Thank you very much.